I'd write her a song, so I wrote her a song for her awesome show. Her show is cool and it's lots of fun, so get your popcorn ready, everyone. Who will she interview on her show today? The Jonas Brothers or Nick Lachey? It's the Awesome.
Hi, welcome to the Awesome Master Show. Today I have a swim coach and a yoga instructor. Hi guys, how are you?
And polarity therapist.
And I couldn't pronounce that, thank you.
Polarity therapist from In Touch Wellness on 381 Main Street in Biddeford. We opened a studio to inspire health for everyone. We're doing yoga and polarity, and we'll explain that later, and martial arts.
Nice.
And
martial arts.
and family yoga. And so we have a lot of things for everyone, and we please join us because it's newly getting started. We also have a gift store with local artists of jewelry. We have crystals, and we have all sorts of things.
Everybody loves jewelry.
Yeah, and this week, before Christmas, 20% off on gift certificates for yoga, massage, polarity, and anything that people want to do. So 20% off.
When did you open your
Well, we've had a few soft openings, so we've just opened in the last couple months. So.
And it's hard to open it in during Christmas season
It is.
too.
That's the worst.
We just started the yoga program there, so it's only a month.
And you also teach swimming to little kids?
Oh, I do teach swimming to little kids, but that's at the Y, but at this place I do. That's how I met your mom.
Yep.
So yes, I do.
So can you tell us a little bit about yoga, Christine?
Yoga is an over 5,000-year-old science, I would say, and it was based by Patanjali. And I believe yoga to be a path to God. It's an eightfold path, and its goal is called samadhi, which is bliss. And I think that's really what we're all looking for. And by God, I mean the word love. I believe that God is everything and anything that correlates to love. And one of the parts of it is called asanas, or the poses. And that's normally what people in the West do. But they forget to talk about the other pieces of it and incorporate that. And yoga is such a healing modality. I mean, it's been proven to affect your well-being, your weight, your blood pressure, your ad infinitum.
Anxiety.
Oh, dear God, yes. You know what I mean? It brings everything down. When you finish a yoga class, I mean, for me, I know that I was in a really, really rough place in my life and on the verge of suicide. I couldn't take any more.
Yep.
And I went to my first yoga class, and I'll never forget it. I was laying there, and I thought to myself, it was like, this is it. I found it. It was the first place that the noise in my head shut off. And you know what that's like. Everybody knows what that's like.
Yeah.
That's like the constant chatter. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I'm not good enough.
Especially when you're trying to go to sleep to it.
Oh, and that's when it hits. They say that a peaceful man, you know when you're at peace with your life and your choices, when your head doesn't go off, when you just fall right asleep. It's a testament to where we are, and it's actually a yogic principle. And so it's something that's changed and healed my life. And from that day, I knew that I had to share it with everyone. So I've been teaching now for 25 years. I've trained, I guess, at least 100 instructors who have gone worldwide. And I believe it's my goal in life to help to heal the hearts of as many people as I can.
That's cool.
Thanks.
And she's at In Touch Wellness, and she does an amazing job. She's really great at positioning people and opening them up. And polarity also, can I speak about polarity?
Yes.
Okay, I just, also what I want to say is my son also opened this with me, and
So you guys both own it together? Or do you own it?
he owns the building, and we both own the business. And right now what he's doing is he's at an ashram in Florida, and he's learning more yoga, and he's doing a program at Armat Yoga Institute doing Serva, which is selfless service. And he's learning how to release the past and stay focused on the present. And that's what We teach at the yoga studio too, and we do it through polarity, massage, and different things. He's also, his guru has been doing yoga forever, and he's from the Kripalu. This is a
Kripalu.
Kripalu. Thank you. Pronunciation.
Which
She'll help me.
is a world-renowned place where all of the great yogis go to give workshops.
Nice.
And my master goes there. I have not been privileged because it's extremely expensive, but it is world-renowned. Like anybody who's in the yogic world wants to go to Kripalu.
Nice.
And I'd like to talk about polarity because he's into yoga too. This person is Dr. Stone, Randolph Stone, from 1890 to from 1981. He was a chiropractor, and he also studied. He was an osteopath, and he's actually studied to be a Lutheran minister, and he was translating the Bible and to learn English. And he ended up wanting to know what helped people everywhere, and he studied the Vedic in India, and he's very into yoga and knows how much that helps people. And he developed polarity, and he also studied with Native Americans and the shamanic, and also Chinese medicine. There's a lot of in polarity you use massage techniques, acupressure, reflexology, and energy work. And the acupressure, when I've worked out a massage craft with their acupuncturist, I saw a lot on the wall of the Chinese medicine, and we do pathways: water, air, earth, and
All the
fire.
four
Yes, we use that.
instruments, right? Is that what they're called?
Elements.
Yes.
Elements, thank you.
That's right. We use the
Not good.
elements.
Don't worry, I'm here.
And fire, and that's in Chinese medicine, and that's pathways. So in the acupressure point of this is we would press different pathways that are same in acupuncture, but we're not using needles.
That's cool.
And then
May
we
I
have
interrupt?
Vedic.
What happens, because I know that that's difficult to understand,
Yeah.
I've had
Thank you.
sessions. I've had sessions, and what she does is she intuitively, and I know we're not supposed to use the word psychic, but this woman is incredibly psychic. I worked with psychics for a year. I'm from Los Angeles, the psychic capital of the world.
Yeah.
Right? So you can tell who's real and who's not.
Yeah.
And she is most definitely, she's popped off with things that I've never said to her. I have no idea where she comes up with, and they're completely on.
Yeah.
But what she does is she goes through your body and she can feel what's locked. And then she gets a bless you.
Thank you so very much.
She gets a message as to what that is. And then she says something to you, and you're then going, oh my God.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, she's hitting these points or she's moving this energy, and you can feel it coming out of your body.
Yeah.
I felt like I was lifting off of a table at one point. I walk out of there, you're high as a kite, and you've done no drugs.
Yeah.
Because she has cleared things, and she
In a happy,
knows.
healthy way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible what she does. And when she does, like she talks about the fire down, and it's a way to release and move through. In yoga, we call them the meridians. There are different lines of energy that go throughout your body. And so she works through those lines and just moves everything out. It is one of the greatest experiences, and I have experienced just about everything that there is healing out there.
Yep.
And it's just an incredible thing. I love them. If I could afford them, I'd get them every week. I'd go daily, really, if I could.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
The pathway, that's interesting that you brought up fire pathway. In polarity, you use only one pathway, the water, air, whatever, but fire is the only one that has two different pathways. So if, say, somebody came in and I would douse them, I would feel them out.
Yep.
And usually I'm guided because I ask God, which is divine love and energy to me. I do a little prayer before people are open to it, but I have to do it in my head. I have to allow God to come in to guide me so that I'm focused on them and I'm not using my Mary brain or anything else. But I have all these modalities. I also have human service degrees and a BHP, behavioral health. And then I have polarity, and I used to be a masseuse. So on fire pathway, So if somebody came in and they were having like migraines or obsessive thinking, which we can get around this time, you know, we're head spinning about, oh, you know, all the holidays or whatever is happening in your life, I would do fire down. I would do other pathways too, but I would do fire down, and that's, you hold acupressure points, different points. I know she's
She
stealing.
still has a
Yeah,
statue.
she's
I'm like,
stealing it.
"Please,
She
do
wants
it,
some.
do
Yeah.
it."
And so you would do these different pathways to the body to fire down. And if she was, say she came in and she didn't have any energy, she was exhausted, you would do fire up. You also do, in the beginning, you do cranial sacrum, which involves different parts of, you know, you stimulate different parts of the head,
We should
different
have done you
serotonin.
before we started this.
I know. Well, this I know.
So you would know.
Yeah, so you would know. But anyway, the serotonin helps to release, you know, different things in your body so you feel relaxed. And
Love chemicals.
craniosacrum's wonderful. And then there's tummy rock. There's different moves in this that help the person relax. And I have to be and allow whatever's happening to move energy to help people. So use massage techniques, reflexology on the feet. If somebody has things in their back, you're touching a point on their feet to release things in the
Yeah,
back.
because aren't there certain spots that you
Yes.
hit that are like just the certain spot that you like, if you have headache, you hit the temples or like.
Exactly. Like, all right,
For the
so
big, this right in here is for headaches too, migraines in here. Yeah, there's different.
I know a little bit, but not.
Ah, you do. So can I just show examples? So
Yes.
say she had a point in her back. Say I tested her back and say right here was hurting her. Where does hurt you? I'll just do
Up higher is going to be
right here.
right there.
All right, so say I'm holding this point. I would find on her foot, like this represents on the inside of the foot, the whole spine. So if I'm going to go, I want to go right about, right, is that a sore point?
Yeah,
See, I hit it
that's
right
it.
away because I do this all the time. But so I hit that source point. So right there, I hold that point and I do it on both feet. She'd be lying on her stomach. She wouldn't be like this. She would be
On
comfortable.
a heated bed.
On a heated bed, yes. And so I would hold this point and this point, and I would ask for guidance here. They usually would tell me how long.
Yeah.
And then I would release it, and that would release the pain here.
I can feel it just in the little bit that she did.
So
That's
Look,
cool.
do I look a little higher?
that's a
A
little,
little higher, like I'm high already. I'm not. I'm
it's a
not.
little sample of polarity.
Sober.
If you like, where did that come from?
Okay.
So if you'd like a polarity session, I'm just going to tell the audience, if they'd like one, call Mary at 207-210-4289. And I also wanted them to come to yoga. And go ahead, ask me anything.
So what is polarity for people? Like for people, because honestly, I've never heard it until you guys walked
I
in
never
today.
heard it until I met her
So-
either.
So I'm wondering, like, what's the basic that people need to know? What is?
Okay, this is what polarity is. It's by Dr. Stone, who was a chiropractor and osteopath, and then he went all over the world and studied different things to see how to help the person. He developed polarity, and what it is, it's a combination of massage techniques, reflexology,
Does it do yoga too, or is that-
acupressure, yes, it goes into yoga, acupressure, and energy work. So, and sometimes you'll use crystals or different things in energy work. He believes highly in yoga, so when I was taught polarity, we were also taught yoga. I am an infant at yoga. She is the expert at yoga, and she is amazing. So she can talk more about yoga, but he believed in that, treating the whole body. He also believed highly in how vegetarian and plant protein is very helpful, and joy is very helpful. That's why he did trainings with, in the Buddhist too. He believes in all these things that we have out there, and he wanted to experience them all and combine them into polarity to help person as a whole.
But to break it down simply,
Thank you.
Yes.
to break it down simply, polarity is a healing. It's a healing modality that uses energy, and it uses her calling in whatever it is that she feels. So she can go through your body and find the spots. I've heard about it a million times from a million different people that have that ability. There are some people that can just look at you and see where you're injured.
Yeah.
People are blessed with these gifts, and she happens to be one of them. So she goes through and uses different energies, crystals, and of course the pressure points, but to move whatever's blocking you, basically, from the sunlight of the spirit.
Yeah.
That's it.
And just so we go back to Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone, instead of when doctors, what they were doing is they would be treating a disease. They would be looking at the disease first. Instead, he looks at the health. He's coming from the health point, which back in the day wasn't popular. He came from the health point, treating the health, because we can activate our own health and be self-healing, and just helping to activate that for the person and
Absolutely.
and restore the person's health and restore relaxation and health. So that was very important. And he also studied under a doctor that was a medical doctor but was clairvoyant, which wasn't popular then, but by using that and feeling that, or letting, to me, whatever your divine guides are, but God to me is important. So having God come in and working through the person and focusing on the person, not being in my head, like focusing what's going on to help them. And I had a polarity teacher who said, this was an example when she was teaching us, she goes, it's very important to do like meditation or be focused. I always meditate before I have a client, to be pray or whatever you do, but meditation also
Focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, and do yoga to release. Also to do she would do these yoga moves to release things. So when you have the client, you're focused on them. And she used a good example. Is one time she was rushed and she had to have a client, and she was thinking, her husband just called and said, oh, I want you to make lasagna, and she's thinking, oh, I got to pick up this spaghetti sauce. This is just a mild thing. And so she's doing the whole polarity for the client, and after she asked them, how do you feel? She goes, oh, I feel great. I feel relaxed. I feel so better. But she goes, I'm dying to have spaghetti and meatballs. I don't know why. So that's things can come through like that. So it's good that we're focused on the person. Yeah, it was funny.
What is meditation?
Meditation
For people that's
is
never done yoga.
Meditation is so misunderstood. There are 20,
That's why I figured I'd ask
right
you.
on. There are 25 different types of meditation. You can do an eating meditation.
Really?
Yes, people love eating meditations. You can get a Godiva chocolate, yes, which is awesome. And you can take it, and what you do is slowly unwrap the package. Meditation is really just being present, right? There's mindfulness, which is being in the moment, completely being here and now, recognizing what's going on for me in this moment. You do that like washing the dishes. Okay, I've just put the soap on the scrubber pad. I'm scrubbing the dishes. I'm rinsing the dishes. That's mindfulness. Meditation is something else. It doesn't mean you have to sit like me, and you don't have to do Yana Mudra, and you don't have to have the straight spine and close your eyes and do all of that. I meditate.
Because I always thought you had to do that.
Exactly. And people think, oh, I have to do it for 2 hours a day. No, I do meditation for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. That's it. That's it.
So it's not really an hour.
No. God, no. And I recommend highly that when people start, that they get an egg timer or a timer. Now we have phones. Do a 2-minute timer and just sit and just focus in on your breath. That's it, the in and the out breath. Then they tell you, don't attach to your thoughts. I used to think, what does that mean, don't attach to my thoughts? How do you attach to a thought, right?
Because your thoughts are in your head.
Thank you. And they're going constantly. So what I learned was that meant that, like, okay, if I come up with, I've got to go to the grocery store. Right? That pops into my head. So what they mean by don't attach to the thoughts is don't go, oh, I need to get broccoli. Oh, I need to get some pasta. Oh, that's attaching to the thoughts.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're becoming the observer, right?
Yeah.
So now, because if you think about it, who's watching my thoughts?
Yeah.
Who's watching my thoughts? Someone else is watching my thoughts, right? So that's what we're looking to get to is here. And what happens over time, and it takes time, over time you have a little space where there's no thoughts. You have a little piece. and that piece gets longer and longer and longer. But you can do meditations by simply taking yourself on a guided meditation. You can listen to them. You can do meditations with food. You can do meditations with staring at a candlelight.
See, because I always thought meditation was like 2 hours long or 3 hours long, or like,
People have that whole thing in their head,
and
it's
you
like,
had to like, and you have to like shut your eyes and like.
I mean, you don't have to. if you
no,
don't
not
want
at all. But the Godiva chocolate, I know it'll take long, but I will teach you. When you come to class, I'm
'Cause
going
I
to
love
teach
chocolate.
you. Yes, everybody does.
This is a great time for chocolate.
It's
too.
a
That's so funny.
feel-good thing, you know, and it releases, dark chocolate releases the chemicals in your brain which relate to love. So it's like, right?
Yeah.
We'll get a bar of dark chocolate and I would teach you an eating meditation, which is really yummy.
So on meditation here, just so you know, on Mondays I do a free meditation for the public at 1:30 to 2, 381 Main Street, and we do free different guided meditations for health.
Is that every week?
Yep, every week from Monday, and January we're going to do Monday from 1:30 to 2 every single week, and Wednesday 1:30 to 2 also, and then on some Saturdays, actually on Saturday, I'm going to do free guided meditation right after her beginner yoga class. So right after her beginner yoga class that goes 9 to 10, there'll be a free guided meditation. There'll be different ones. We're going to do some for joy and prosperity, but I usually do for health. I do for optimum health, and usually I scan whoever's there, and I will start with something that I'm going to do,
Yeah.
and people can sit up. Like they can sit up in a chair if they're
I
not
lay
comfortable.
down.
Yeah.
Other people, like she likes to lie
Blankets,
down.
pillows,
We have all
I'm
yoga
all
mats. We have a nice padded, we have a padded yoga room. The room's already padded. You don't even need a mat, but you can use one.
Oh, that's cool.
Whatever position, you can have your eyes open. You can have your eyes closed. You don't have to
I always thought they had to be closed. Like,
No, you don't have
like
to.
because I've tried it once, and I always like get distracted. Like I always like.
Of course
I'm
you
just, like,
do. Of course
I'm
you
just
do.
like always, because I've tried it before. So I'm like, okay, am I missing? Like I feel like I'm missing something.
Well, everybody does. And, you know, we forget that our minds are naturally busy. We're taught by society to have these busy minds. We're
Yeah.
taught to multitask. And the truth of the matter is no such thing as multitasking. You can really only do one thing at a time. And if you're trying to multitask, you're not giving 100% to anything, so
Yeah.
you're screwing something up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's really, we're going, like a friend of mine used to say that we're unlearning and learning new behaviors, and that's what it is. We're learning to calm our busy mind is what you're doing, and that takes time. I mean, how long do we learn to be busy-minded?
Yep.
You know, little kids aren't busy-minded. I think that's the whole purpose. I want to get back to that little kid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who had fun all the time and lived in the moment. When they're pissed off, you know it,
Yeah.
right? And then they go through their little thing, and then they make up, and they're off doing their thing.
Yeah.
But as adults, we carry resentments.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I hate you, right?
Yeah.
This is what's good about meditation is, first of all, if you do the breath too, it gets you in the moment. And if you listen to the voice or the music or whatever's on, or you just go back to a mantra. In guided meditation, it's great for a busy mind because you're focusing on what the person's saying, but you don't have to hear it. It's better if you end up, people will say, I didn't hear half of that. That's great. That meant you got down to a lower relaxation state. And in meditation...
Or your mind wandered, which is very normal.
In meditation, you go to a delta state, which you go to a state that you're transcending that's it's actually a deeper rest than sleep.
Really?
Yes, and that's why a lot of people...
Than REM sleep, than actual REM
Yes.
sleep. There are articles, many articles written on it.
And I used to do transcendental meditation, a lot of different meditations, and it will give you more rest. That's why, like you see, like monks and yogis that they don't need much sleep because they meditate a lot, and they actually will carry that meditative state with them. So the more you do meditation, and you can do anywhere, like she said, like you can do, there's guided meditations online too, from 1 minute to people meditate for hours. I mean,
YouTube.
YouTube.
yeah, and it's
Tons.
so this is why I wanted to give that free and bring people into the Wellness Center and give something back to the community because it makes you get out of the moment. That's why We're going to have it on Saturdays.
It makes you get out of your busy schedule too.
It does.
It
And that's
does.
why we have some at lunchtime,
And
so
it's
people
great
can
for
do
weight
something
loss.
for
I'm
yeah.
sorry to interrupt. It's great for weight loss as well. It's great for the peace of mind. You're not going to be attacking the driver who cut you off. Your fingers will remain down. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? You can remember that, you do that too. It just begins to slow everything down over a time of practice. And that's why it's called a practice, because we don't get it right then. You don't get it the first time I'm enlightened.
It takes
No.
practice the first.
Oh, it helps you go
Yoga's
more
called
into
a
joy,
practice.
relaxation, serenity. It helps even if you have it for a few moments when everything's so crazy. Even if you have a half an hour, 2 minutes, it helps to focus you. It helps you to relax enough. And then when you have to go into your busy day, you're more focused or you're more calm. I have to meditate every day.
Okay, so what made you want to open your own business? Like, what made you say, "Oh, I'm gonna open this wellness business and have people come"?
Well, I did polarity for a long time, and I've done different modalities, and I've done life coaching. And my son had this beautiful building that he finally bought. It has apartments and different things. And he was doing other things out of it, but he was getting more into yoga. He also studied martial arts in China and locally too, with life skills. And,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, and we wanted to have a center. I said, why don't we combine everything? And it kept
And then have
evolving.
it all in one center.
Have it all in one center, and I'm open to other practitioners that would like to come to rent space or do something out of there who would love to do that. I'm getting other different people. I have Evelyn Bounce, who's a doctor, and she's doing family yoga on Mondays from 6 to 7, and you don't have to be a family. You can be our family. And I had 2 people come the other day that weren't in a family, and you can come. It's very reasonable priced. And you're always welcome to come. And she's also...
And I'm a Reiki master as well. I'm going to be practicing out of there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And she also is holistic. That's wonderful that you're doing that. She works now with integrated health. She did have her own business, but she's in integrated health where they treat the whole body, and that's in Cape Elizabeth. So she's great to tap on for how to use vitamins, food, even the ocean, how to use these things for ailments and for different things that people will categorize, oh, you have this or you have that.
That's cool.
But it's just the body, helping the body and use everything that we have.
It's more natural to use, like, instead of
Yes,
taking medicine all the time.
exactly.
Well, medicine most times isn't needed. Like, for example, doctors say, people go to doctors for sciatica all the time, right?
Yeah.
There are 2 yoga poses that I could give you that will cure sciatica, but they don't ever tell you about that. They would rather medicate you, they would rather do this. Because let's face it, I mean, the big drug companies are making tons of money off of these things. So they treat the symptoms and not the actual how to cure it.
Yeah,
They're not giving you a cure.
Not the actual person.
So,
Thank you.
so at In Touch Wellness, we want to look at the whole person through polarity, through yoga, through Dr. Bounce talking about vitamins and food, and it's very important.
Okay, so I know that we're talking about health and wellness, your place, but I want to flip it a little bit. So how did you teach the little kids like how to swim? Like, are you a swim coach or like?
Oh, we're going to switch to swimming?
Yes.
All right, back in the day, my kids will go, back in the day, Mom, before TV and cars, but anyway, back in the day, I worked a long time ago at the Framingham YMCA. I was with somebody, the first person who developed water babies, and I taught water babies, I taught swimming to all levels, and I taught swimming for the terrified, and water aerobics, I taught all that, and now fast forward, and then I'm in Maine, and I had moved to California, different places. I'm in Maine, and I wanted to get a membership at the Y and start swimming again, because I used to, when I first sold my properties in Old Orchard, I was in a winter rental that had indoor pool, and I got spoiled and liked to swim. So I went to go get a membership at New England you know, at the New England College there, but they were all full because they had students. So I went to the Y, and they run everything on computers. So all of a sudden, I'm trying to get a Y membership, and the head person, the aquatic person, was notified, and she comes out and she's like, "Oh, you used to teach at the YMCA." I'm like, "How did they know this?" And they needed an instructor. She goes, "We can have a free membership if you teach." And so she got me to teach again, and I hadn't taught in years, and I love it there. I love the little kids, and that's how I met your mother.
So cute.
I ended up doing kinder care, where they have kinder care at the Y, and then the kids on Tuesday come down and they swim. I teach them swimming, and they're back to back. They keep coming out. They're all cute. They walk out. They take the shower. They hold each other's hand. They help each other.
Oh my goodness.
Your mom brings them up, Miss Tina, and different instructors. There's Miss Irene. There's different instructors. They bring them out, and then they come in and they learn water safety because we're in Maine, and they also learn how to help each other, and you know, they'll help take the bubbles off of each other and put them up, and we very encourage at the Y, like when somebody does well, I don't care if you're in a class where you're afraid, because they come up.
Some kids are afraid of water too.
Yeah, I have kids that are holding on to my neck, and you know, they're scared to death. And then I have other kids that can't swim that are trying to jump right in the water, and then they have no fear. And then I have, in the same class, because of it's Y Care, and I have other kids that can swim circles around me.
Yeah.
So it's very, you know, it's very important, and they all encourage each other. We inspire that. If somebody, I don't care, if they just put their chin in, that's a big thing. We're like, look, they put their chin in, and all the kids clap for them,
my
high
goodness,
five.
that's so cool.
And these are kids that may have other experience. We always, you know, where you are. And I think that's important, and having inspiration. And that's why at In Touch Wellness, I would love practitioners to come that inspire that in people, to motivate them to do their best. And when you have yoga with her, you are in another place, and she comes over and helps to position your body, and you feel so taken care of, and we feel all part of this like divine love there. And when people leave from Polarity, they feel like, and I have masseuses that come in, they're not just masseuses, they're also healers, and they also, well, you know, you can heal your own body, but they're also, you feel like taken care of there.
Now, can you modify yoga depending
Anything. I can modify anything.
Depending on the person?
Absolutely. I am a stickler for alignment, which a lot of people aren't. It's very difficult for me to take classes with other people because they haven't been trained in that way. So I go into teacher mode, and I'm like, this person, because in yoga what happens is you get repetitive motion injuries.
Yes.
They don't happen right away. And once that happens, you're screwed. And so I'm really, it's very important to me, the alignment. So modifications are a part of alignment.
What is the alignment?
The alignment is, for example, when you do a chair pose or mountain pose, your feet have to be hip width apart. Most people teach it with feet together, which, if you look at, when I put my feet together, right, this is out of alignment. My knees are out of alignment, but if I go hip width apart, now I'm a solid straight line. So my bones are stacked one on top of the other.
Okay, but what if a certain person couldn't do, like, depending on their disability, what if they couldn't do, like what if their leg
Unable to stand.
Yes.
Their leg couldn't go
Then
somewhere.
I could bring them either on the floor and do floor work with them.
Okay.
I've dealt with people in wheelchairs. I know how to do that as well. I've dealt with women who are 89 years old. Believe it or not, that woman could stand on her head. She literally could stand on her head at 89 years old because the entire class encouraged her. I've dealt with children. Now, children are the most difficult to work with in the world.
I love that.
I mean, but for yoga, it's a different story because you have to have some attention span. And it was like, I'll never forget it. It was the scariest class I ever taught. And I'm not one to be fearful. But you can do, yoga is modified for anybody. There, I mean, I could teach you 10 different things you could do in that chair for your body. It's a non-issue.
See, I didn't even know that there was. Is there different types of yoga? Like
There's so many different types of yoga. You can do hot yoga, Ashtanga yoga, which is gnarly. I'm from LA, so I say gnarly, not wicked.
Yeah, Maine's wicked. It's wicked good fun yoga.
I refuse to say wicked because I'm from LA. I'm from Venice Beach. There's yin. There's flow classes or vinyasa flow classes.
Explain
there's
yin
gentle.
to her,
There's what else? Restorative, my personal favorite.
Yes.
Restorative is where you use bolsters and you use blankets and you literally lay around, and I
They'll
love
support you.
through the
That's what she
whole
was talking about
class.
earlier.
Yeah,
I'm telling
yes,
you.
that will support. You will love yin yoga. Restorative.
You
like
will
restorative.
run out of that yoga class, walk, whatever you want to do, but you will love me at the end of that.
You
People fall in
will.
love with me after those classes. It's like, oh my God, that was so good. And then when it comes time to move to the next pose, you're like, no, I don't
want to
want
stay there because you're all
to.
supported. Your spine's opening up. You're
Why
feeling
is
like,
she
whoa.
talking again? Make her be quiet. I want to stay here. It's my favorite.
What is the most popular yoga?
It would be vinyasa flow. Most people want to lose weight and get in shape, and we're a society where that's what's popular, your body and your body image. And that's something that I was extremely good at, only because it's guided by a power greater than myself. I'm not boasting about me. But right now what I'm teaching is beginner stuff and more gentle stuff.
Yep.
My personal favorite is restorative. That's out of all my years in teaching, it's my favorite.
I think yoga would be very helpful for me because
Oh, you would love
You come in and have a
yoga.
class, then I'll come back and we'll sit and
yoga.
chat.
Yeah, you will love it. And actually, if you come after, I will do some polarity because you'll already be relaxed. That will be half the battle. And then, so you'll love that. And you can do polarity right in your chair or get on the table. Either way, I can do it.
You'll be doing all the talking when we're done.
Can you tell her about like used to doing like all the because I don't really know. I know what yoga is. It's like a relaxation.
If you can go
So what,
ski on the
yoga?
slopes, when I listen to one of your
surfing?
yes, I can't. And surfing, I cannot. Oh, you love Evan. He loves to surf. My son that does the yoga.
You didn't teach me to surf.
Yeah, you
We'll
love
trade
it.
exchange.
If you can go surf, you can go surfing. I got to go surfing with you. I got to try
body
that.
surf.
I've only tried
Like
once.
body.
But yeah, you will. If you can definitely do yoga.
So what was the question though? I'm sorry.
I totally forgot.
You were asking me something about yoga, what it was.
I totally forgot what it was.
That's okay.
Okay, so for example, right? Take your left hand and put it on the side of your chair. Now, how far back can your right hand go? Can you reach back here? That's your left. Your other right. So instead of on your shoulder, bring it behind your chair. There you go. Now, take this hand and put it here. Lift up through the spine. Push into the hand that's behind you. Can you feel that in your
Yes.
spine?
I'm doing it too, Ash, because I'm new
That's,
at yoga.
that's just one little pose in yoga. Now, normally, because I'm attached to the chair, I can't get up, but I would come over and modify you to lift your spine and to
She knows the
further
right way to
roll you
do it.
open.
Yeah.
And what that does is, that's a twist. What that does is it wrings your spine out and releases all the toxins. The muscles on the side of our spine are so tight all the time from holding it in place. And, and most people
From holding our
slouch.
body up.
I
too.
do. She always
Yeah.
says
And
to
our
me,
neck up
put your
and-
Most people slouch, and if they can get their shoulders up, back, and down, right, with then in proper alignment with our spine. I quit yoga for 8 years. I stopped doing it.
Okay, so why did you quit yoga?
That's a good question.
I owned my own studio in Ogunquit for 8 years, and it was called Sacred Movement Yoga, a sanctuary for healing and oh my God, I can't even remember.
I'm sure it was a wonderful place.
It was. Anyway, it was beautiful. I did a great job. I brought yoga into the community, AIDS walks. We did the Carson Foundation. We did all these wonderful things, and it was astonishing. But I lost my brother. He OD'd and died, and then I was diagnosed
I didn't know that.
with mental illnesses shortly thereafter. And I just kind of spiraled down.
And may I interrupt for a little bit? grief is another hurdle you have to come over.
Yes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the way that he died was so horrific, people actually watched him die. And it was very, very challenging for me. And someone tried to steal my studio from me. So being in the yogic world or the healing world doesn't change the fact that people are people.
Yeah.
And at that place in my life, I was unable to recognize it not as an attack,
Yeah.
but as who they were as a person. It really had nothing to do with me. So I had all of the grief, and then I was taking on this anger, and I had all of this stuff going on, and then I equated yoga with pain.
Yeah.
So I walked away from it.
That's
I walked
interesting.
away from it
that
for a
makes
while.
sense.
Yes.
But then my spirit, but it's in my soul.
So what made you come back?
That's a good question.
I found my healing path again, and I got sober. I'm not saying how I did that, but I got sober. I had also, when I did that, I had 18 years of sobriety, and I began drinking again. And I got sober, and this time it's for real. And it brought me back to my passion, because yoga is my passion. It's what's in my heart. I know that it's the gift. I believe we all have our gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I believe that it's just a matter of finally tapping into it and allowing yourself to be open to it. And I've always known that it was mine, and coming back to it has opened me to my channel and opened me to another space. It's really incredible. It's a gift from God.
Oh, that's wonderful. I didn't know your whole story like
See,
that.
we both learned something new today.
I know. I'm like, that's wonderful.
And I know you're having your stuff too, so maybe I was brought here to help.
Yep.
and that's interesting.
And you do.
Yeah.
When I do life coaching and motivational and work with people, and plus I use a lot of meditation in it too, but when I do that, people want goals and they want this and that, but it's allowing, but it's also opening up to their own gifts and opening up to their own intuition and their own self-healing. Our body is such a healing mechanism, and if we treat it right, and treating
It's
ourselves
like
kindness.
a tool that gets you through,
Yeah, and
It all begins here, though.
Yeah,
It all
feeding-
begins here.
that's
It's a
what I was
matter
gonna
of
say.
changing the mind. Like, I had a stomach virus for 3 days. Well, on the 3rd day, I decided I've had it with this. And so I started chanting, my body is healthy, healed, and whole. And by the next day, I was fine.
Yeah.
By the next day, I was fine. When you sit in your stuff and you claim it, then it becomes so. I believe in the law of attraction.
And I also, the feeding your mind is really important. Feeding your mind healthy thoughts and your body healthy foods. It's very interesting because we're kind of in flu.
Gotta work
We're
it.
kind of in flu season, and I was having a 45th class reunion, and it was really important that I go. This girl that was going with me, she had never been in years, and so she wanted me to go with her. Well, I got the flu because I work around the kids and everything. I went to my doctor, and she's like, oh, you're just going to have to ride it out probably 7 to 12 days. And I talked to Dr. Evelyn Bounce, which believes in this holistic. She goes, rest and drink lots of water and take vitamin C every hour when you think about it, and take B12 a day and a half. And I couldn't believe it. And I had lost my voice too with it. A day, which probably lots of people were
I hate losing my
helpful.
voice, especially with mine.
I know, with your job. Yeah. My kids are probably praying, thank you, she
Not
lost her
good.
voice. But
I
yes.
kind of need my voice.
Yes.
No.
So it was amazing that in a day and a half, I couldn't believe it. And I had
And I
been
think
sweating.
mine sounds sexy. I love it.
Yeah. See, like when I was leaving voicemails for you to come on the show, I was like, I hate leaving messages. I just don't like the sound of my voice. So is there any new classes coming?
Yes.
New people coming in since
Yeah.
you just opened this health and wellness?
Yes, and I'm also open to more practitioners and I have some people that are going to be doing workshops in Qigong and Tai Chi, and
Oh, Tai Chi.
And I'll be doing some workshops too, hip opener things and different things. And I do Thai yoga as well, which is so yummy.
Thai yoga.
I'm going to.
Thai yoga it's the use of, you use different body positions and pressures, and it's usually done for couples. Couples love it,
Nice.
and or you can do it with a single person, and you get the pamphlet, so you can take it home. You actually get the book,
Nice.
and you get to take it home, so you can keep practicing. It's not like a one-time event and you paid for it and that's it, but it's really yummy.
So I have, what's coming up right now is one of the things, there's a few things. We're doing a resolution workshop that's big for January that's coming up.
Yep.
On Sunday the 28th in January, we have a healthy, happy mind and body. And so we're going to have Dr. Evelyn Bounson, and she'll tell you how to use, she'll do a presentation, and she'll also do some movements around this and exercise and how to use food, vitamins, exercise, and water. And people can tell their different ailments or anxieties or concerns, and she'll tell them with that right after. She'll be doing yoga for health and wellness, and after that, I'll be right in the same workshop. I'll be doing polarity, so people will be there. I'll help to align them, release energies that are blocking their optimum health, and go into a guided meditation after that. And if people are open, I always ask. While in meditation, I can see what's going on with them.
Yeah.
I'll go over, they're okay with touch, and I'll touch or do different points on their body to help release things or to aid in optimum health and happiness. So, and I'm going to be getting, there's some martial arts people that I'm going to try to get
martial
a
arts.
senior martial arts person.
You like that.
in a moment.
I
Yes,
just
we're
like
gonna
saying
do-
the word.
You like saying the word?
Yeah, martial
Do it
arts.
one more time.
Okay.
Martial arts.
All right, we'll do some martial arts in the chair. So you can do some chair martial arts and sort of little kicks there.
I just like saying the word.
Yeah.
Don't know
And I
why.
was a black belt in Taekwondo, but my
We
son
could do it
has
for
a
the
lot
rest
more
of the interview.
experience.
Martial
Yeah.
arts.
Martial arts. I know when you write it, you got to be careful you don't say marital arts instead of martial arts. And Evan's very good at that. He did some women's self-defense for
Yep.
people because one of the ladies at the Y, her daughter she's graduating high school and they're going to go to college. And so she got a bunch of her friends, and Evan taught them because he used to teach at Knox College women's self-defense.
Oh, I think
And
your son should come on too.
yeah, he is. He's
amazing
He's coming back
and
on the
gorgeous.
17th. Oh,
No, I'm saying he should come on the show.
Yeah.
that would be wonderful.
I'm saying he's amazing and gorgeous.
He's coming back January 17th, but women's martial he
arts.
did self-defense for women and taught them the mindset too, and how to be aggressive, to say things and do things, and how to help each
Because
other.
now the society, you don't know if you're gonna get robbed or.
Oh
like,
no, so much stuff.
Yeah. So in this society, I think that's a good class for especially women to take,
Absolutely.
to protect themselves,
Yes.
and not just with what do you call that spray? You just spray.
Oh yeah,
Pepper
not just
spray.
with pepper spray. Yeah.
Pepper spray. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on. I learned a lot.
Thanks for having us so much.
I have to come by and see how it all works.
I'm telling you, I'm coming to get you if you don't.
I just want to say
And I'm
one
going
more
to drive
thing.
the whole way saying martial arts.
And I want to say this, call Miri for any questions about In Touch Wellness, 207-210-4289. We're at the end of Main Street, 381 Main Street, the old Feed and Grange building. If people are local, you'll see the sign. I have to get a phone number out there too. We just got the sign, so.
And your son forgot to put the number on there, right?
Well, he didn't forget to. He didn't forget to. He didn't want to put the
Gorgeous,
number.
good one.
I know.
Whoops.
He didn't forget to. He didn't want to put the number
Yeah,
because he didn't know if things would change with people's numbers
Yeah,
and be
yeah,
a different
yeah.
practitioners. And if a petitioner rents a space, we have room to put their sign up too.
Yep.
So I would love everybody to stop by. Saturday I'll be there, and you can come check out my gift store. And on Sunday you can also check out her yoga, and we'll be there.
And Christine, what is
Tonight we're having yoga.
What is the one thing you would tell people that never tried yoga?
Oh yes.
It doesn't require any flexibility. That's a big myth. That it's just something to be open to. Come in. What's the worst case scenario? You spend an hour and you don't like it. That's
true.
the truth. And it improves everything in your life.
Yep.
Just give it a chance. Just give it a chance. It's well worth your hour, I guarantee you. And if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it.
And we're very reasonable. We're very low price right now, and you can come in, and we have all sorts of specials for different things. And
In January, I have a deal where you can bring a friend for free. So if it's your first class, you come in and you can bring a friend for free, because that's another thing. A lot of people don't like to try new things
by themselves.
without a buddy, yeah.
Is that why you brought her? 'Cause you didn't want
Right?
to do it by itself.
I know,
I'm
right?
the funny one. That's why I'm here. I'm the funny one.
Good, yay. I'm usually funny, but I can't be. I'm trying to be a little serious here, too.
Well, and that's, I think, the biggest hurdle is that people think that they're not flexible enough. And for men, it is so important for them to know that they're more muscular than women, so they are naturally more inflexible. And I always work to accommodate that, and it's very difficult because they're competitive.
Yeah,
so
men are more
they
competitive,
want
yeah.
to, and you've got all these
Some
women
men,
that are
some
falling
men.
flat, and that's true. Some men, forgive me, men. And there are some women that are falling flat, and there are people that aren't. And people also think that because I've got injuries, I've got this, I've got a bulging
That
disc,
I
I've
can't
got
do
that.
it.
And that's not true, because I'm aware of how to handle all of those things. So there's no such things. Or people,
And it helps with that. It helps with anything that you have.
So it works anything and heals everything.
Okay, so one last.
Oh, and try polarity, too. It'll make you feel amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. I learned a lot. But anyway, I will see you soon. I'll see you next year.
Yay!
Or stop in
Namaste.
Saturday or Sunday. Or tonight we're having yoga.
Okay, she said enough.
Asked me if I'd write her a song, so I wrote her a song for her awesome show. Her show is cool and it's lots of fun, so get your popcorn